All right, you guys, welcome back to, I don't know what we're going to call the show, Jared, but welcome back
I
to
don't
the
know.
podcast
Yeah,
nonetheless.
we got to
I've
think of a
my
name.
partner, got my partner in crime, Jared Wright, who is the owner of the Share Group. We've got all of his information beneath this video. If you want to grab absentee owners or any specialty lead source, just go to the link in the description beneath this video. Jared, what is up today?
What is up, everybody? Nothing, man. Just another day in paradise. Stuck in the middle of America on a beautiful fall morning. I don't even know if it's fall yet. I think it is. It's October. So
it is gorgeous, man.
Yeah,
I would agree. So let's keep rocking and rolling. We're getting a lot of good feedback on this weekly segment of the podcast. I think people are really enjoying it, getting a lot of value out of it. And today we're going to further that value. So we're going to go back to our bread and butter, both yours and mine, which is absentee owners, and talk about how real estate agents can work this lead pillar effectively. And then I also want to talk about the value of why a real estate agent would work this segment. So why don't you kick it off? I know you got a long list of why agents would want to add this pillar of business to their business plan.
Yeah, funny enough, it took us a couple of podcasts to talk about what the elephant in the room is, right? And kind of what we built our relationship on. So definitely an exciting topic, man. So I'm looking forward to digging in.
Yeah, me too. So why don't we start off with why this lead source, absentee owners, has such a, why would an agent want to go after these?
Yeah, totally. I think there's a lot of different reasons why agents would want to go after absentee owners. To me, like a lot of these owners aren't in the market that these houses are in, so they really don't know the value. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is good. We're going to talk through a bunch of different reasons, but yeah, a lot of people that own these properties, to your point, had them for whatever reason, didn't decide to sell them. Most of the reason why, in my experience, Jared, in almost 20 years in selling real estate, has been because when they bought their new home, which to your point is not where their absentee owner home is,
right?
When they did that, it didn't make sense to sell the house. They wanted to try their hand at a rental property. The market wasn't good for a variety of different reasons. They owed too much, they owed too little. Interest rate was high, interest rate was low. They decided to keep it. But value number one is they typically don't live where they own their rental property. And so therefore they don't know what the value is.
Yep. And one thing that we come across every single day when we talk about the value of the absentee owner is how many there are in your marketplace. I mean, it's amazing to see the total number of, quote unquote, non-owner occupied homeowners.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you have on your website now, agents can go on there and just look at their market and say, hey, how many do I have? Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can go out and search your marketplace for the zip codes in your area and identify the absentee owners in your segment.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about reason number two, the reason I like this lead pillar. So when we look at like the perfect storm when it comes to lead generation, I like to create a situation where we have a segment of the marketplace who has high likelihood to sell their home because we want to go after listings.
Right.
And we want a segment of the marketplace that has low competition. Well, absentee owners really, is like slap, like right in the middle of that thing, right?
Right.
Because a large portion of these homeowners want to sell. Why? Well, because obviously the market is way, way, way up. When they purchased it, just like we talked about, it didn't make sense to sell. And most of these people that have one rental property, it's like a pain in the ass to have one rental where you're like, there's no margin, there's not a lot of upside.
Right.
And so now that it makes sense to sell, a lot of these people are looking to take advantage of the marketplace. And oh, by the way, there's little to no competition going after them.
And that was kind of the next transition is your competition doesn't know about this lead source. I mean, I talked to, as a soccer dad, I hate to publicly admit it, but as a soccer dad on the sideline, you're talking to real estate agents in your community all the time. And I'm like, yeah, this is what we do. And you tell them, they're like, what do you do? I'm like, absentee owners are like, what is that? And they're like, is it voting or what do I do? I'm like, no, it's landlords. I'm like, you probably are one. And they're like, yeah, matter of fact, we are. And
it's so
and
true,
so it's
man.
just it's an interesting no competition segment, most definitely.
Well, the thing is like, to your point, I mean, I coach realtors. I have 250 agents at my company, my brokerage. Not one of them knew what this was before we brought it up to them, right? Like, it's like the best opportunity to get listings, yet no realtors ever even heard of it before.
Right. No, that's
so
funny.
Crazy. I mean, everybody's going after for sale by owners and expired listings. Yep. Great opportunity, great competition. This is a great opportunity, no competition.
Exactly. And especially with how it's kind of like a perfect storm, like you said, with the value being high, no competition, a large number of leads. Now, the expired listings probably are going up, but beforehand there wasn't not enough for those for those agents to prospect on.
Exactly. So let's talk about do you want to add any more to this list? I mean, I think
no, I mean, that touches it. I mean, a lot of these people, I mean, you talked on it, tired of being a landlord, don't really know the true value. The competition isn't calling, how many are there? So I mean, we've pretty much touched on a chunk of it. Yeah.
Well, and I'll just end with this and then we'll talk about, how to work this pillar. So people in life make decisions that either bring them closer to pleasure or away from pain. That's how people make decisions. That's the only two ways people make decisions. Right. And with this lead source, the whole way in which we coach an agent to work this lead source is bringing them away from pain. And the pain in this situation is like the headache of dealing with a tenant. Right. They're not making a lot of money. Bring them towards pleasure, which is giving them a bag of money. Absolutely. So it does both things at the same freaking time.
No doubt. Yeah.
So let's get into it. So when an agent reaches out to your company and they get a list of absentee owners, you're going to provide them with what data points?
Yeah, that's a great question. The data points that they get are both address information. And so the value there is you get the owner's mailing address, which could be outside of the geographic area where you're wanting to market or list these properties. You get the property address which is within those zip codes. You get the phone number, which we're outputting, both cell phone and landline if we have it. So in some cases, you're getting two phone numbers, and then email address where available is about 60% of the data. But that's a good point of like what you get, because here's another, I think, really good piece of advice that I can offer to our audience is, you kind of want to make sure what you get is what you get, because a lot of these guys are like, oh, I can get my absentee owner from a title company, or I can get it from my buddy down the road. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they really don't understand how that's compiled and how it's up to date and how we keep it current. And so I think that's such a valuable thing to know that, when you are wanting to build this segment, to know that you're going after the right apple to apple comparison with the absentee owner world, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I mean, we were just on our coaching call yesterday, and I had one of the agents that I coach say, and it's not, I'm not talking bad or good about competitors, but like, they're like, hey, we're getting our absentee owners from another lead source. Yeah. And they are terrible. And the reason I said, and then I said, well, the reason for that is because that particular company specializes in giving you for sale by owner and expired data. Yeah. They don't specialize in absentee owner. So the difference when they go to like a list specialist like yourself, right? That's what you do. Like your business exists on your ability to give people good contact information. Right. When you try to not take shortcuts, but like it'd be like going to get your teeth cleaned from a chiropractor. You know what I mean? Right. No, it's not totally. Like chiropractor's bad. Chiropractor's great, but they don't clean teeth. So that's what we're talking about.
But they know how. Right. They sat next to a guy that did that in school.
Exactly. So
no, that's a really good point. I mean, if you low key saw what the cycle of updating behind the scenes, as soon as you release like an updated file, behind the scenes you're already building that update to release again. I mean, it's just an amazing infrastructure, like behind the scenes, like when you do, find that niche, just make sure you're asking the right questions on, how often is it updated, and
Yeah. So let's talk about, so are you guys, so you got phone numbers, you got landline, cell phone,
Yep.
email, property address, and then home
mailing address. Yep. Owner mailing address. Yep.
So are you getting any social media links at all, profiles?
No, but what we are doing and advising our clients is how to use that data to retarget, like within the social media ad network, like Facebook. So you can load that custom audience into Facebook and blast those people with your own ads and their own retargeting. And that's kind of what a lot of people are using those emails for and cell phones. But
all right, so let's talk through all the strategies, because I think people I mean, the obvious one, the one that I've coached to the most, that they hear about the most, that I've really built my business on, is picking up the phone and calling them direct.
Right.
It's still the king of prospecting and lead generation. And the reason for that is it's direct feedback.
Right.
And it puts the real estate agent in control of the outcome, right? I know if I pick up the phone, I can control going to call 100 absentee owners. And then I know through that, I will actually speak to about 20. I know that activity, it's duplicatable.
Yes.
Nothing else that we're going to talk about is as predictable as making outbound phone calls. So that's number one. And I want to go through each one methodically. We won't spend a ton of time.
Yeah.
That phone call is very simple. The offer and the message is super simple. It's Jared, with the market being so high in city where the property is located, if you could get a great offer, would you consider selling? I mean, it's very simple.
Yeah, no, very simple. And you get an answer immediately, right?
Immediately. It's not like you send out a letter and you have to wait and you can't control how many people open it or call you back.
Right.
So number one is calling them direct. And with your data, we've been able to get our contact rates with the data you give around 20%, which is crazy.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah. So that's number one. You want to add anything to the phone call?
No, the phone call, I think, like you said, is outside of door knocking, the oldest originating, means of communication. And with, I hate to throw a shameless plug for you in here, but with with the method that you provide, the scripts, I mean, it's a recipe for success. While we are providing that treasure map to, these guys to go on the gold hunt, you're telling them how to do it,
Yeah, and you guys can grab my script book. There's a link to that beneath this video as well. Just grab it. It has my absentee owner script in there. But nothing is ever going to take place of that because it's so direct, it's so duplicatable, and you can get direct feedback from the prospect like right now. Number two, I will talk about sending text messages or video text messages, and no one's really doing this, right? So instead of calling, I could just send a text message and say, hey, Jared, my name is Brandon. I'm a local real estate agent. The property you own at 123 Main Street, the values there are insane. Would you consider selling it if you knew you could get a great offer? It's the same script, but just via text.
Exactly. And I think, even today's day and age, texting is how we communicate more and more. And it's becoming less invasive and just as a normal means of communication more and more. So I think it's a great avenue for touching base.
Yep.
Or reaching out or whatever.
That's right. And so let's keep going. So that's sending a text message with words. You can send a text message. You can send a video text message. So you only have to do this once. And I know the audience are like, oh, videos, dude, I can't make videos. I don't know what to say. I look stupid on camera. Guys, don't overthink this.
Yeah, just know the camera adds about 20 pounds, just so if you see that of me. No, I'm just kidding.
So it's real simple. Just hold up your phone. You have to do this one time. You don't use the prospect name. Hey, my name is Brandon. I'm a local real estate agent. I was curious about your property over here in this city. And I'm curious if you're open to the idea of selling it, if you can get a great offer. Boom. You can send that to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of absentee owners.
Right. What is the software you guys use? Is it Bomb or something like that? That's a similar program, right? That's pretty cool. I love that.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great way to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead. Do you want to add
something? No, go ahead. No, I was going to touch on something else, but go.
Yeah. I mean, so let's just stay with the phone number before we move to any other tactic or strategy.
Yeah.
There's systems out there where you can drop a pre-recorded voicemail and load up thousands of these absentee owners in there, hit one button and get into everyone's voicemail without the phone ringing, and leave the voicemail. Brandon, what do I say? Guys, it's the same script. Exactly. Bob, my name is Brandon. I'm a real estate agent. I was curious about your home here in X city and was curious if you were open to selling it. Values here are ridiculously high.
Right.
There are no homes for sale and buyers willing to overpay for homes. Was curious if you might be open to that. Give me a call. Boom, easy. Hit one button, drop it to 10,000 absentee owners in your city.
Exactly. There you go. You're off and running.
All right.
There's so 3 points of contact with the phone number, right?
That's exactly my point. Exactly right. So let's keep going. So this is all things that we coach our agents on. That we talk about every single day. The next thing is using the data, to your point, to find the person on Facebook and or Instagram. Right. Not just retargeting yet, but sending a direct message to their direct message, right? So their private message or their direct message on Instagram. Hey, Jared, this is Brandon. I'm a local real estate agent. I was reaching out based on this property over here on Main Street in X city. Curious, with values being so high, no homes for sale, would you be open to selling it if you knew you could get a great offer? Simple message. It's non-threatening. It's not invasive. It's like, dude, say yes or no. It's okay. Yes. But I can go find all those people on Facebook easily because we're all realtors. We all have access to the MLS. We go look them up with their property address. And their name.
Yeah, we go figure it out.
You'll go figure it out. We'll go find them on Facebook. Right.
The other thing that we do with the email addresses, and it's very similar to a one-to-one texting or ringless voicemail, but it's like we use like a third-party service like Woodpecker or something like that. You can send like 25 emails a day. From you, same message, right? Brandon, it's Jared. You want to, looking for high value property offer, your offer of your property at 123 Main Street. Boom. So that's another point of touch that we kind of talk our agents through as well. If you want to set something up like that.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, we haven't even talked about email yet. So so you can direct message them on social media. And then to your point, with the data, now we talk about doing the retargeting. So you guys, you could take the email list that you get from Jared. You could take the cell phones. You could take that list. You can upload that as a custom audience, both, by the way, on YouTube as well as Facebook. And you could target these folks with a specific message. Hey, Brandon here. I'm a local real estate agent. If you own a rental property and you're sick of being a landlord, values are at all-time highs at XYZ city. Click the link beneath this video and I'll give you a free price analysis to see if now is the best time to sell or not. Either way, no big deal. Talk to you soon. Easy, right? Such an easy message, but I think realtors just overcomplicate everything.
I agree with that. I would totally agree with that.
All right. So we talked about calling, we talked about texting, we talked about video texting, we talked about social media. Now let's talk about the email address, right? So to your point, dripping out emails with the emails marketing.
Third-party software that you have. One nidbit of recommendation with email, just got to be careful that it's like an acquisition type program, not a retention program. But there is software like Woodpecker we use, and it's 25 emails a day that you can just pepper out throughout the day of very targeted messagings to this, motivated audience. Is just, like you said, another point of communication to these leads.
I love it. And the messaging is always the same. So you can email these folks. And then the other thing I want to talk about is direct response mail, right? So we can take a service like a Mailbox Power, put the picture of the house on front of the envelope. Let me see if I can
that's amazing, right? The variable print.
Well, and now Mailbox Power, I'm going to be doing trainings on this. We can take the data, Jared, from your team, upload that into Mailbox Power software, and it puts the picture on the mailer automatically.
Oh, wow.
So on the envelope. So you get the house, you get the thing in the mail on the envelope. It's a picture of your house.
Totally. Jeez. I'm looking forward to meeting Joe, man. We do so much direct mail, behind the scenes. That's kind of where I was built, that's like,
I know.
So I love to pick his brain on some of the ideas. That's awesome, man.
You're going to love Mailbox Power.
The technology now and the customization of each piece being different is amazing. And letting the technology do the work is how you kind of get ahead there, right?
Yeah, well, bro, you are gonna love Mailbox Power. Like, you're being a direct mail guy. I like it too, like from the marketing standpoint and like how to, because the mailbox is so underrated right now. And there's not a lot of marketers using it anymore. Like, you use a program like Mailbox Power and you put in some really creative mailers, you can get great response from it.
Yes. Yeah. I love it.
So, yeah, dude, listen, there's just a bunch of ways you guys can work this lead pillar. I just think that the opportunity is so good right now because guys like you and I are screaming from the mountaintops with this lead source in 5 or 10 years, because our goal is to help people with this lead source. But what's going to happen, Jared, is soon it's going to be more and more competition, right?
Bro, you were screaming from the mountaintops before anyone knew what Absentee was, you know? Right. And it's just funny how it like folds into the scenario of being such a pivotal lead source. But you know, it's always, and I think it always will be, a segment of value and kind of underappreciated and undermarketed. You know, that we can here in Omaha, there's not many mountaintops. There's a couple of hills, and I can try to find a
that's awesome,
small house or something. But
well, and so I think that the work that you do helping agents accomplish the goal of creating a specific niche where prospects have a high likelihood of selling a property and low competition is so cool. Like, let's talk about that for a second, because I talk a whole bunch of shit on my coaching calls about like what people can do. Yeah. Like, oh, how do I do that? So I want to talk to the man that can help them do this. So
let's do it.
I think you call them likely to sell. I'm talking specifically downsizers as an example. I want to give you people, there's 1,000 examples, but I want to give people just this example.
Right.
Your team, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but here's the list that I think is really, really, really good in addition to absentee owners.
Right.
Is going out there and getting a list of people in your city, in your county, that are 65 years or older.
Mm-hmm.
Have a home that is free and clear.
Yep.
And has like the home size is, you take the average home size in the area, let's call it 2,000 square feet, and you get houses that are only 3,000 square feet or bigger.
Yep.
2-story colonials, right? Yep. That means the master bedroom's on the top floor.
Yep.
And what a great niche to go after. We know these people, the likelihood of them downsizing after retirement is so high.
Is it? Yeah. So we just created this segment for one of your students that called Tony is her name. She's awesome, but she wanted 65 plus, been there 20 years, free and clear, 2 stories, and we had like 30,000 in Pittsburgh. You know, obviously it's Pittsburgh.
My gosh, are you serious?
Yeah, and then her county in North Carolina, there was 3,000 and some change. So it is a definite segment, and the value is because of the data that we know for so many years, and the demographic on top of the transactional is what kind of, you know, marries the magic, you know, and so. Dude, that's achievable, and we have a bunch of cheesy names for our different data sets, but there's got to be like the golden nugget of that, you know, we can come up with, and you could refine and adjust along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, another one just to get people's minds really going around this year when they start working with your team. Yeah. Again, I don't want to create products that you don't sell, but
you're hitting it around the head, brother.
So like life events. You know, people that have a baby, there are data points I'm imagining that you guys can get after, that you can create a list of people that have just had a baby in the last 6 months.
Yep.
Dude, a lot of those people are getting new homes when they have the baby.
Yep.
We talk about divorce a lot. People, right? We talk about empty nesters, people that go off to college.
One of the biggest value. The biggest value we get is age of children. So you can start from the very beginning when that child is from 0 to 2 years old until they're 16 to 18, you know, and all across the board of different segments of these life stages, like you talk about. It gets me excited, man. I get pumped up talking about it. I don't know why, but.
Well, me too, because I think I'll tell you why. I mean, I think too many people in our space are talking about surface level, like tactics and strategies. They're not talking about like ninja tactics.
Right.
Like, dude, how many times do people need to tell a realtor, like, all right, call your sphere of influence and call for sale by owners? Like, they're like, I get it. I like creating lead opportunities, lead generation systems and tactics where there's zero competition and you go find opportunities in markets that nobody else knows about. I'd like to do that.
Yes, let's do it.
So
no, that's awesome.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be our next show. Like, I know we talked about niches, but like maybe we'll talk about list creation.
Right.
And, like, pulling back the curtain a little bit to say, okay, what are the data points we can go after and see what kind of
it really is endless as far as like how custom you can really get with that creation. And if you're spending money on the direct mail and the hours on the calling and the nurturing, then you might as well get as targeted as you can for this audience to hit it out of the park. But I love it, man. There's a lot of, same characteristics of what we want to bring to the client, to the customer, to the viewer is, success, dude. And if you don't have a return on your investment, then we ain't doing things right. So, and that's literally what I hang my big fat head on, dude. So
I love it. Well, dude, I will, let's plan. I'll plan on seeing you next week for our show. Obviously, I'm going to see you in person in about 3 weeks at our live summit.
It's going to be fun, dude. I'm looking forward to it. Like it was so funny. We had a meeting about it, just, about the idea of what we're going to present and how we're talking about it. And Carson, our marketing lady's like, all right, so you guys can be in costumes because I'm not going to be there. And I'm like, dude, we're not getting in costumes, but
that's great.
But you never know, because I'm pretty crazy. So
yeah.
But anyway, man.
Had fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't got your tickets to the Reverse Selling Summit, we'll put a link to that underneath this video too.
Buy one, get one free.
Buy one, get one free.
I mean, come on. Let's see you there. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, brother. Have a good week. Talk to you soon.
Peace, brother.